It's an honor and a privilege to be here in front of you, and my objective today is just to be able to share my experience, what I have met in the last 35 years working in a very special time, and if you can come back home with ideas on how to implement a better world, this would be it. This would be a good day for you and a good day for me. The fourth digital revolution, you know that, I know that. I've seen that 20 years ago. It started in the family with my own kids, and they were bringing some special tools, special application. And step after step, it arrives in every country, it arrives in every corporations at a scale that we couldn't think about, at a speed unbelievable. In 10 years, the combination of technology, new things, are changing our life, our days, day in and day out. So you all know that, I know that. But this, we're now in the middle of it. This is the fourth, let's say, revolution. Some people are using the word intelligent. Is this really the intelligent one? At the same time, in the last 20 years, we have seen two big crises. I would say crisis of trust. Big, huge crisis. One of which is more politician crisis, where we see the world developing, and even if a lot of good things cannot be underestimated on the health of millions and billions of people, and some people less poor than before. At the same time, no solution, and we see inequalities going up and up in every country. I would say traditional politicians are rejected from some countries and replaced by scary people, extreme people. The second crisis of trust is on technology. There is a crisis on technology. Some of you knew that before end of 2017. But suddenly, end of 2017, when we realize the story, the episode, Facebook, Cambridge, everybody realized that one single company with a special belief on trust, one single company can suddenly become more powerful than any single state in the world. For a lot of people here and outside this room, end of 2017 is an inflection point. This is why now when I speak of crisis of trust in technology, everybody understands. When I was saying that 3 years ago, 50% of the people, they didn't understand it, they didn't get it. Now everybody get it. So this is a scary time, enormous crisis. But you know, I've learned a couple of years ago, even if I'm not very good in Chinese, and in Chinese apparently there are two symbols to detect, to speak about, to translate crisis, and the second one is opportunity. In every crisis, there is an opportunity. So this is the opportunity to go from the fourth industrial revolution to the fifth industrial revolution. This is only the fourth plus ethic. Ethic. What do we want to do with technology? And the answer is here. The answer is here. The answer is all over the planet. The answer is on the human side of things. It is not easy, because if we program artificial intelligence a bad way, suddenly we will not have an equal world. So we have to be very careful, but the decision relies on us humans to decide what we want to do with the technology. By the way, when you use a baseball bat, you can use it in two different ways, a good way or a bad way. I remember a big movie with Robert De Niro where he was just shooting some people with a baseball bat. It's not technology, but it is the same idea. It's up to us to decide if we want to use the technology for bad things or for good things. It's why ethics is so important. For me, for us, the fifth industrial revolution is the fourth plus ethic. Now, It's also a huge opportunity to replace the old traditional capitalism by a new way to think capitalism. I think the old way of capitalism is dead. With a lot of people more and more agrees with me and with us about that statement. It's a big statement. When before everybody were asking companies to focus only on a couple of 2 or 3 metrics like revenue and profit for the shareholders, this time has gone. It is no more about shareholders, it is about stakeholders. It is about the big community of people working in the company and outside the company. Employees, customers, partners, communities. A huge community of people that we have to think of when we think of a company. Humanist capitalism, is this possible to do well in terms of numbers and to do good for the state of the world? We believe it is possible. More and more people are speaking like me. I'm asking you to keep your lucidity because communication is not everything. There is a big danger to believe everybody who is talking. There is a big danger. It's why I'm going to focus the rest of the time in describing, sharing in front of you some pragmatic actions that are inspiring me and I hope will inspire you. We believe it is possible to reinvent capitalism and to speak of a humanist capitalism. How is this possible? I would speak of 3 or 4 points. The first element, for me, would be to see a company or corporation in an open world. A corporation is only an agent of transmission, a change agent of transmission in the middle of an ecosystem. A corporation doesn't exist alone. A corporation is only here as a team player of a big team. The ecosystem is the team. Everybody has to have the right to be part of the team if the values are respected. But this is a big concept of open mind and to open the vision you may have on any kind of corporation. An open mind, an open spirit, love to share, more important, love to listen to every member of the ecosystem on their stories, on their obstacles, and the way they're going to succeed. And the way also they are going to contribute to build a better world. I am so lucky, so humble, to be in a company where the mission statement is, we want to help the world to become a better world. We think the business of business is to change the world. If you put that at mission number 1 or statement number 1 in your mission, it changes completely the dimension of your corporation or your organization. This then can become viral. Imagine if you're influenced by somebody and you can pass the good message to another one. Imagine if you have thousands of employees that can propagate the same message. This is the only way to change the world. It is impossible to change the world alone. The only way to win is as a team collaboration. Then, my second point for humanist capitalism would be to clarify upfront what are the values of your organization, of your corporations. And you have to pause a little bit, because this is super important. Why is this so important? Because you are not going to change the values of your organization, of your corporations, every single week or every single month. It's not possible. You need consistency, you need time. These values are where you will rely when it's a storm outside. And you know, and I know, that the world sometimes is very stormy. It's never happening the way you want it to happen. you will have to face some big, huge turbulences. Provoked or not provoked. This is where the values are important. This is where you need your values. I was speaking of a crisis of trust. In the company I am so lucky to work in, we have decided 20 years ago, when the company has been created, to put trust as value number one. I do not understand why trust is not in the values, in the top values of every single organization and every single corporation. Why? Because we are in a crisis of trust, as I was trying to explain at the beginning. Trust is an enormous value. Trust between you and your customer, between you and your partners, between the entire ecosystem, trust between an employee and the management. Imagine if I trust somebody and somebody trusts me in my company, suddenly there is no more negative feedback. If trust is there, we may call it in English psychological safety. If trust is there, my feedback is constructive. There is no negative feedback if you trust me. Trust is a bet. If I trust you, I bet on you. I accept déséquilibre in French, unbalanced statement. If I trust you will react well when you will face a problem. I don't know, it's a bet. I accept it. It's a big bet from me to you. It's why trust is not something you can give like that in 2 minutes. Trust deserves, we need to own, to earn the trust of the people. Day after day, with our actions. Customer success is another trust, values in our company, and it's everybody understands that if you put customer first when you think about your business, it's much easier. Equality. How is it that inside a company, there are so many differences versus outside the corporation? Even outside the corporation, the world is not easy, and it's not very equal. But in some aspects, outside the corporations, it's more equal. For instance, 50 or 52% gender females outside the companies. Why not in every company? Why not? Unbelievable, especially in digital world. It's a disaster. And in France, it's even worse. It's like 15 or 20 or 25% of the employees in the digital corporations, only 15, 20, 25 are females. Okay, it's a fact of life. Now we can work every single week, every single month, every single quarter, every single year to progress. If we start at 15, why not 17 in 1 year? Why not 18 the year after? Give yourself these goals. Equality, I would recommend to be one of the key values of any kind of organization or corporation. So this was second point. Clear values. And, anchor on your values. So important in your day-to-day life. And when you are lost, when you don't know what to do, when you are harassed by a lot of things to do, realize on your values. And last but not least, more important than communication, coming back to my former remark on keep your lucidity to judge if the words are enough or not, actions. It is super important in today's world to be able to speak, to communicate clearly of what you want to do, but it's even more important to do it. I would say 20% communication, 80% actions, when a lot of people, I have the feeling, are doing 95% communication and 5% actions, or 99% communication. And when you dive on what are they really doing on these subjects, there is nothing. This is manipulation. And this is where I am introducing the word sincerity. Sincerity. I see that in every company. It's very easy for every employee to see if the management is sincere or not, if the communication is followed by consistent actions. Just, so few people are just able to say what they are going to do and to do what they just said. And the subjects where we need to act are related to inequality in the world, and we have the possibility to change it, and education. inequality in the world, and education. Because what we see with digital, an impact is to change the way we educate people. How can digital revolution can help? Example. In our company, we have noticed that in this country, France, we will create 40,000 jobs in the next 4 years to just implement Salesforce solution. 40,000 jobs. So it's a big number of jobs. And so we decided a couple of years ago to build and offer for free the possibility for everybody to get trained on our technology. I say for free. And we see millions and millions of training sessions being handled by the platform all over the world. And you know what? When I was saying 20% of people are female, in education, we analyze who is getting the lessons and the badges, and it's 53% women. So technology can help to build a more equal world, even in the digital environment. Because if we train 55% of all the people are female, they will find a job and they will change, they will help us to get to the right level. Another example is, I am so lucky to be in this company where 20 years ago, the founder, Mr. Mark Benioff, who is still there, one of the chief exec of the company, chairman of the board, he decided to put in the rules of the company that we are going to change the way we help people. He implemented a rule named 1-1-1. 1% of our revenue given to non-profit organization. At that time, revenue was 0, but it was in the rules of the company. Now the revenue is above 10 billion. It's a lot of money we give to non-profit organization. 1% of our technology we give to non-profit organizations, and we know that every non-profit organization, they need at least a system to manage who is going to give them money, the donators, just for that application or for others. And more important, 1% of the time of every single employee of our company. 1% of the time. 7 days, it's more than 1% by the way, it's more than 7 days per year we are paying our employees on top of holidays for them to help non-profit organizations. And as a country leader in France, I am measured on the collective time we are spending in France to help non-profit organizations in France. So not at the same level as revenue and customer satisfactions, at the same level, I have this metric. How many hours, and I am measured every quarter on the number of hours in Salesforce France to help non-profit organizations in France. 2 years ago, it was 13,000 hours. Last year, 23. This year, 33,000 hours to help non-profit organizations in France. I give you 2 examples. We helped opening the restaurant Refectorio below Church La Madeleine, where we serve every night 90 homeless people a very good dinner prepared by very good chef, 2 or 3-star chef, on a very nice place, a moment of dignity. We have prepared the application to manage the volunteers, but more important, 300 employees of Salesforce France have spent 2,000 hours in the last 1 year to serve every night the dinner. This is the way people are coming back with a smile like that in the corporation, and suddenly they are so motivated, so energetic to think of their customers. This is a super positive side effect. Another one is Lightforce. A young employee, 25 years old, came to see me in my office 2 years ago. He said, I want to do something with this nonprofit. Let me bring some lights to the villages in the middle of Africa where there is no light. And now, at 150 people every year, our employees, customers together, and partners, they are going to help to change the life of villages, because after 1 week, there are lights, solar lights, and they know how to repair it. And all the women, in fact, in the village are owning the maintenance. And suddenly the kids can learn. The kids can learn, it touches education. Before they were just watching, there were no lights, and they were chasing the animals, the wild animals. Now they can learn. So these are examples of what you can do. We are so happy to help if you want to do it. We have helped 8,000 companies to implement this model, 1-1-1, in their own companies. 8,000 companies over the world. We have been able to help because we don't want to change the world alone. We want to change the world with you. So this is why today, when you can clarify your vision and have your actions and track it down, if it's very important, this is why we believe, I believe, it's possible to change the world. This is why we're here. This is for our kids, and our kids are much more clever than me when I was a kid, because this is much more important for them than for me. And when I think of them and of their kids, this is what we have to do. We're optimistic only if we can work together with these elements. This is the end of my session. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you will be inspired by some ideas I had the pleasure to share with you today. Thank you very much.
As we enter this fourth industrial revolution, we have to make a commitment. We have to make a commitment to ourselves. Because if we can't be the examples, if we can't create that nirvana, then what have we done besides just sell more software and hardware and iPhones and all this other stuff?
We have an obligation, and I think we have an opportunity to do something very, very special that has never been done before.
The company has a soul, and it really is the drumbeat. It propels us forward.
You know, when we started Salesforce.com in 1999, it was a boom time.
Salesforce has transformed the way businesses do business.
It was a new technology model, it was a new business model, it was a new philanthropic model.
I'm running a company based on stakeholders, not shareholders.
Connecting people together to make the world better. It's pretty cool.
Because of our culture, customer success is really important.
What is extraordinary is how you become the company that defines modern future enterprise computing, because you got it right.
It's not CRM, but it is CRM. It's many things, but it's one thing.
We're talking about Salesforce.
Killing it all across the board.
We're talking about a company that's got one of the greatest corporate souls.
Salesforce just made what we do better.
They're good people, and they're easy to work with.
It's all about Ohana. Ohana means family.
It's a culture of transparency.
It's our well-being,
Innovative,
Equality,
trust.
We want to make the world a better place.
That's what we all feel in our Ohana.
Salesforce is passion. It's the future. It's the present. It's an opportunity for you to really harness all of your resources to maximize what you're here for.
No matter what country you come from, you can change the world.
Salesforce is making major changes to close the gender pay gap.
We stand for equal opportunity, equal pay, and equal rights.
Everyone feels like they have a voice, like they're part of something, and that they understand where we're going.
When we started the company, we said we want to be a new kind of business. We're going to make giving back a core part of our DNA from the very beginning.
Customers are stakeholders. Our community, our homeless, the environment is a stakeholder. This is the right thing to do.
Using business for social good is unlike any company I've ever seen. You can make this part of your culture now.
I wake up every day and say, it's great to be part of Salesforce.
I can't think of anywhere else I'd want to be.
People love the idea that a company is going to bat for them. Speak up. They want to hear what you have to say.
This has been our Ohana culture for the last 18 years.
It's what sets us apart.
Together, we can do something pretty special.
It's just the beginning.